Please just don't. I don't know where my parents are.
Ma'am, calm down. What?
Some people broke into our house. Dad? No, you're calling us.
Ma'am. Hello.
喺2010年，加拿大安省麥咸萬錦市發生嘅呢一宗入屋劫殺案，轟動咗好多加拿大華人。成個案件嘅目擊者呢，淨係得一個人啫 ，Jennifer Pan。大家好，我係卡吉利大咪，歡迎大家打開 Calgary 大咪 Investigation。喺影片開始之前，大咪邀請大家先俾個讚好，訂閱我哋嘅 channel， 開埋通知啷啷，全部都係免費唔使錢嘅。當我哋有新嘅直播或者係上載新嘅影片，系統就會立即通知大家。做影片一啲都唔容易，希望大家俾啲支持力量我哋。你哋嘅支持力量可以令到我哋嘅 channel 做得更加好，感謝大家。影片入邊嘅內容呢，係以官方法院同埋警方嘅文件可以查證嘅陳述同埋可靠來源為根據，排除傳聞、理論同埋未經證實嘅資料。要講呢一宗嘅案件呢，就要從姓潘嘅呢一家人開始講起啦。爸爸潘漢輝 Han Pan 喺越南出世，1979年呢，佢就跟住屋企人一齊移民去到加拿大。佢係一位天主教徒。媽媽梁碧霞 Big Ha Pan 亦都喺越南出世，佢係一個佛教徒。媽媽亦都喺差唔多同一時間70年代嘅時候呢，同樣都係用政治難民嘅身份移民去到加拿大。作為新移民嘅佢哋呢，都非常之勤力，而且佢哋做嘢呢，從來都唔會請假休息。啱啱嚟到加拿大嘅佢哋呢，英文唔係太好，只能夠喺底層嗰度開始做起。佢哋喺當地一間 Manner International 汽車零件製造公司嗰度做嘢。爸爸呢係做製造車模具，而媽媽呢就係負責裝配汽車零件。就係因為喺同一間公司嗰度做嘢，所以佢哋識咗大家，而且結埋婚。佢哋喺安省多倫多嘅 Scarborough 地區定居。佢哋一共呢生咗2個小朋友，大女 Jennifer 喺1986年多倫多出世，而細仔 Phoenix 就係喺1989年出世。喺佢哋努力底下呢，爸爸做咗機械師，而媽媽呢就做咗汽車零件公司嘅主管。2個人白手起家，喺2004年買咗一間獨立屋，買埋車，仲儲咗啲錢。對於唔少喺東南亞亞洲國家嘅家庭嚟講呢，令到佢哋嘅仔女改變階級先係最重要嘅。Jennifer 嘅呢一家人亦都係一樣，父母非常之睇重成功同埋形象，佢哋期望2個小朋友能夠發揮最大嘅潛力，想佢哋成功，想佢哋成為專業人士。不過唔好彩嘅係呢，有時父母對小朋友望子成龍嘅呢個期望，反而會成為一種好大嘅壓力，而唔係幫助。佢哋嘅大女喺4歲嘅時候就已經開始學鋼琴啦，5歲就開始練中國武術同埋花式溜冰，每日朝頭早5點半就要起身接受溜冰嚴格訓練，希望能夠喺2010年入到奧運會。但係事與願違，不幸嘅係呢 Jennifer 因為嚴重膝頭哥韌帶受傷，被醫生判定佢冇辦法再接受高強度訓練。佢呢一個夢想就係因為咁樣而幻滅啦。放棄咗花式溜冰之後呢 Jennifer 開始全力去學鋼琴。而佢嘅父母就係用一啲好嚴酷仔女嘅教育方式，希望佢2個小朋友喺學業上邊拎到高嘅成就，又或者喺音樂界有高地位，拎到人生嘅成功。爸爸媽媽對 Jennifer 嘅管教係真係非常之嚴噶，係唔准佢參加舞會、party 同埋拍拖。理由就係佢哋覺得 Jennifer 直到大學畢業都應該係避免拍拖，影響讀書。相比起爸爸Jennifer 同媽媽嘅關係比較 close， 因為媽媽對佢比較寬鬆一啲。喺 Mary Ward Catholic Secondary School 讀書嘅 Jennifer 為咗符合爸爸媽媽嘅期望，想爸爸媽媽開心滿意，佢成日都會捱通宵讀書。而 Jennifer 嘅成績亦都真係唔錯。然之後去到2010年11月8號嘅夜晚，呢一家人就出事啦。
Where are you, ma'am?
Please just don't. I don't know where my parents are.
Ma'am, calm down. What?
Some people broke into our house. They just showed all his money. I can't hear my parents yelling downstairs. Please send me home.
Ma'am, where are you? What? Avenue Road.
Yes.
Can you spell the street name for me, please?
Dad? No, you're
address for me, please.
H-E-L-E-N. Door broken and I heard shots like pops. I don't know what's happening. I'm tied upstairs.
當屋企俾人入屋打劫，而且你聽到樓下有槍聲，喺報緊警嘅時候，你會唔會有心情同接線生解釋自己係點樣被綁住嘅情況底下打電話嘅呢？大咪係知道每個人喺壓力底下反應都係唔同嘅，但係嗰個第一時間關心自己不在場證明，而且努力維持合理性嘅人呢，往往都會引起警方嘅懷疑嘅。仲有另外一個好奇怪嘅地方。電話入邊可以好清楚聽到爸爸喺度大嗌 help 嘅聲音，點解佢唔係上樓睇下個女有冇事，而係從屋內跑到去外邊大嗌救命嘅呢？喺當晚10點半，警方接到報案電話之後，好快就趕到去現場嗰度，發現爸爸喺外邊同一位鄰居喺埋一齊，身上邊充滿咗血跡。由於佢受咗傷，而且英文可能唔係幾好啊，所以爸爸就用手勢試圖同鄰居講自己中咗槍。當警方掹槍入屋入邊檢查嘅時候，喺1樓佢哋就發現一切嘅嘢似乎都喺原位。呢個情況同佢哋經常遇到嘅打劫現場有啲唔同。通常呢啲案發現場都會好亂，大部分屋主嘅財物都會俾人抄到亂晒，揾現金同埋貴重物品。但係喺屋入邊淨係得幾件有血嘅衫同埋睡衣，啲值錢嘢都係冇俾人拎到。銀包入邊仲有60蚊美金添，衣櫃入邊嘅保險箱、貴嘅相機、爸爸 Mercedes 嘅車同埋媽媽 Lexus 嘅車都係冇俾人搶走到嘅。當警方落到去 basement 就發現媽媽攤咗喺梳化前邊嘅地下上邊，個頭冚住咗一條藍色嘅毛巾，中咗2槍。救護員就衝入嚟為媽媽進行咗急救，但係一切都已經太遲啦，媽媽當場被宣告死亡。喺呢間屋入邊主人房係唯一一個睇起嚟最亂嘅地方，床褥俾人倒轉咗，櫃桶亦都係俾人抄到亂七八糟。一個警察將 Jennifer 嘅束縛解開咗之後，就將佢同埋爸爸送咗去醫院度。警察就話俾 Jennifer 聽，爸爸嘅傷勢好嚴重，一共中咗2槍，一槍中咗膊頭，而另一槍子彈射入咗佢爸爸嘅面部，而且擊碎咗頸部嘅一塊骨頭。子彈穿過咗顱骨，冇射中頸動脈，右眼附近亦都有骨折。雖然頸上邊仍然都係有子彈碎片啊，但係佢都會救得返。醫生為爸爸進行咗誘導昏迷療法，降低佢大腦嘅代謝需求，防止佢受傷嘅後腦會腫脹，而且俾佢嘅身體有時間恢復。當屋企人為呢個咁驚人嘅消息慶祝緊嘅時候，Jennifer 就聲稱自己嘅手提電話冇電，而佢嘅叔叔就提出話俾佢用佢嘅手提電話，但係 Jennifer 就拒絕咗佢。叔叔就俾咗 Jennifer 一啲硬幣之後，Jennifer 就離開咗病房去咗打電話。Jennifer 打電話俾一個人，但係嗰個人冇聽電話。然之後 Jennifer 就喺醫院入邊揾危機輔導員傾偈，輔導員就開咗一啲抗焦慮藥物穩定佢嘅情緒。當其時爸爸做緊手術，喺大約凌晨2點45分，Jennifer 就俾差人帶到去警局嗰度落口供啦。喺警局入邊嘅 Jennifer 向警探 Wendy Slade 講事發當晚佢嘅細佬 Phoenix 冇住喺屋企入邊，因為佢喺度攻讀緊工程學位，只係會偶爾返去父母屋企，所以當日屋企淨係得佢爸爸媽媽同埋佢自己3個人。當日佢嘅媽媽大約喺下午3點鐘就返到屋企，冇耐之後就開始準備煮晚飯啦。佢嘅爸爸通常都會喺下午4點就返到屋企，但係當晚佢遲到啦，因為佢唔記得鎖返工作上邊嘅嘢，佢唯有逼住揸下車掉頭返去公司。爸爸就冇打電話返屋企話俾媽媽聽佢會遲到，呢一點令到媽媽同爸爸鬧咗場細嘅交。Jennifer 就話佢係同媽媽一齊食咗夜晚飯，而爸爸就返到屋企之後自己一個人食。食完飯之後嘅 Jennifer 就打電話俾佢嘅朋友 Adrian， 叫佢過嚟睇電視。佢話呢樣嘢係佢哋經常都會做嘅。食完飯嘅媽媽就換好衫，喺夜晚7點鐘離開咗屋企去上跳舞堂。佢每個星期一都會做呢樣嘢嘅。而爸爸大約喺7點半左右食完飯之後就去咗睇電視休息。佢嘅朋友 Adrian 夜晚9點鐘離開咗屋企。Jennifer 就上咗樓返自己間房嗰度，打開咗電視，同埋一個叫做 Ed 嘅前同事講電話。 當佢聽到媽媽大約喺9:15返到屋企嘅時候，佢就叫同事 Ed 等一等，然後自己就落樓向佢嘅媽媽打招呼。打完招呼啦，佢就返去自己間房。喺呢個時候呢，佢嘅爸爸已經返到去主人房嗰度準備瞓覺，而 Jennifer 嘅前同事就收咗線，所以 Jennifer 又打返電話俾佢，同佢繼續傾電話。Jennifer 話喺9:30至到10點之間嘅某個時間，佢聽到媽媽喺度叫爸爸落樓，而媽媽嘅嗰個語氣呢，好明顯就唔係好妥，所以 Jennifer 就話俾佢嘅前同事朋友聽，佢要收線啦。就喺嗰一刻，佢就將電視嘅聲音閂細咗之後呢，聽到陌生人嘅聲音。Jennifer 話當其時好驚，成個人都喐唔到，只能夠咧坐喺自己間房入邊一段時間。之後佢以為聽到嗰啲人咧離開咗樓上之後，佢就從自己間房門口偷偷地咧喺房門嘅門罅嗰度望出去，佢見到一個陌生嘅男人。
And a guy was there and he came at me and had string in his hands and tied my arms back and said, I have a gun behind your back. Do what I say. If you do what I say, then no one will get hurt. Where is the money? Show me where your money is. I have still a bit of money put aside from when I was waitressing, cash. So I showed him where it was and he took it and put it in his pocket, I think. And then that's where they pushed me to my parents' room and asked me where the money was there, and I didn't really know. So they kind of like, one was right beside me blocking my way to the door, while the other ones turned over the bed to find some more cash in my mom's bedside table.
呢一個係 Jennifer 一開始嘅時候向警探 Randy 描述入屋爆竊嘅人係點樣揾錢嘅講法，非常之簡短，而且唔係好詳細。冇耐之後呢 Jennifer 嘅口供唔同咗啦。
And a guy was there and he came at me and had string in his hands and tied my arms back and said, I have a gun behind your back. Do what I say. If you do what I say, then no one will get hurt. Where is the money? Show me where your money is.
Jennifer 補充話，當其時喺自己間房入邊，佢俾人綁起咗雙手，然之後直接俾人帶咗過去父母間房嗰度。Jennifer 記得佢媽媽床頭櫃上邊呢係有1100蚊美金現金㗎，嗰啲錢呢係佢哋最近去過 New York Buffalo 旅行之後剩落嚟嘅。Jennifer 見到其中一個人拎走咗嗰一啲嘅美金，將啲錢折埋，然之後放入自己嘅衫袋入邊。佢話就係喺呢一刻諗盡辦法將個電話擺落自己嘅後腰嗰度。然之後其中一個入侵者呢，就將佢對手綁喺背脊後邊，帶咗佢落樓，要佢面向地板跪低。
My mom kept trying to get up, and they kept telling her sit down, and so I didn't want her to get hurt. I told her, Mom, sit down. They were trying to find her wallet, but her English isn't good, so she kept saying first. They kept pushing her down onto the chair.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time. All this is very important, so take your time.
They kept all the lights off on the main floor. The only time there was light was when they opened the fridge door to see if they could find where my mom's purse was. One of the gentlemen asked my father if he had money in his wallet.
然後 Jennifer 就俾佢哋帶咗上樓，要 Jennifer 喺主人房指俾佢哋睇佢爸爸嘅銀包究竟喺邊度。但係 Jennifer 就話佢唔知，嗰啲人呢，就將成間主人房炒到亂七八糟，間房嘅燈係着住嘅，但係嗰啲人呢，就用某一啲嘢擋住咗佢嘅視線。就喺嗰陣時呢，有人好快咁拎走咗佢副眼鏡，仲將佢副眼鏡掉走咗。佢冇辦法睇到嗰啲人呢係着住啲乜嘢衫同埋其他細節，亦都見唔到佢哋嘅樣啦。然後其中一個人呢，就叫 Cosy 拎條繩過嚟，佢哋呢，就將佢嘅右邊上臂綁喺樓上嘅欄杆上邊，綁得呢唔係太緊，隻手仲可以喐嘅。Jennifer 喺呢一刻聽到佢爸爸媽媽落緊樓嘅聲音，同埋佢嘅媽媽呢問嗰啲人可唔可以帶埋 Jennifer 同佢哋喺埋一齊。
They wouldn't let me come with them. And after they said, the last things I heard them say was, You lied to us. You lied to us. And then I heard 2 pops. My mom screamed. I yelled out for her. And a couple couple more pops.
Take your time. Take your time.
And I think I heard my mom say or moan or something, and then they did one more before they left, and then one of the guys said, "We have to go now. It's been too long." And then they ran out the door, and I think once they were out the door, I heard my dad go up the stairs, and I had my phone on me, behind me, that I had hidden there that they didn't know about. So when I thought that they had heard them all leave and my dad ran up the stairs, I whipped up the phone and I called 911. But I still hadn't heard anything from my mom, and all I could hear was my dad running on the street, just moaning and making sounds.
當警探問到呢嗰啲行兇嘅人，Jennifer 開始用1號、2號同埋3號嚟稱呼嗰3個男人，而且佢好肯定現場係有3個男人，因為當佢落樓嘅時候呢，佢見到3個嘅影，3個都係黑人，3個都係講英文，而且 Jennifer 話1號呢就係綁住佢嘅人，佢聽唔出佢有啲乜嘢口音，講說話好簡短，聽起嚟呢似係加拿大人，發號施令最多嘅呢就係佢啦，似乎呢就係一個話事人嚟嘅，而且佢有槍。形容1號係有一個 dreadlock 頭髮，但係佢唔記得1號嘅衣着，亦都睇唔清佢嘅外貌係點樣，因為當其時嘅燈光實在太暗啦。佢估呢1號呢係28歲至到33歲之間，2號就唔係好講嘢嘅，淨係喺四圍呢揾下啲錢同埋貴重物品，上身着住 hoodie 衫，膚色呢係比1號深，體型亦都比1號瘦，2號就係比1號叫做 Kusi 嘅人。而3號呢，有時講嘢呢係有牙買加口音，就係3號呢大叫你講大話，你向我哋講大話，你向我哋講大話嘅人。被問到屋企嘅警報器點解係冇着嘅時候呢， Jennifer 就話淨係得佢哋離開屋企嘅時候呢，佢哋屋企人先會設定呢個警報器嘅，夜晚瞓覺呢係唔會做設定。當晚呢，佢唔確定屋企嘅門有冇鎖到，佢亦都冇聽到任何破門而入嘅聲音。Jennifer 係冇辦法解釋點解會有人攻擊佢哋。佢話屋企呢係冇大量嘅現金，而父母嘅銀行入邊呢亦都冇金額大到可以引人注意嘅巨款。佢有提到佢嘅爸爸媽媽係揸住一啲唔錯嘅車，間屋呢唔算係奢華，但係爸爸媽媽呢當其時係一筆過俾錢買嘅。大概2個鐘頭之後，就嚟問完口供嘅時候，警探 Randy 離開咗問話室20分鐘左右。Jennifer 自己喺問話室入邊呢有啲焦慮，一時喺度索鼻水，好似喺度喊；一時喺度托頭；一時呢就用隻手揞住個心口。當時間等得越長呢，佢仲企起身來回踱步，坐立不安，自言自語。喺凌晨4點半 ，Jennifer 錄完晒口供啦。Jennifer 以為警方聽完佢嘅故事之後，成件案件就可以結束到啦。而佢唔知道嘅係當其時呢，仲有其他警探喺隔離嗰間房睇緊問話嘅過程。佢哋留意到 Jennifer 喊嘅時候，用嘅紙巾全部睇起嚟都係乾嘅。Jennifer 根本就係冇眼淚。警方同時亦都喺度質疑，點解會有3個男人入咗佢哋間屋，射殺2個人，但係就留低一個活生生嘅目擊證人。佢哋亦都質疑點解疑犯會要求拎到更加多嘅錢，但係就冇拎到 Jennifer 父母房間入邊衣櫃、保險箱嘅全部錢財。爸爸嘅 Mercedes 車呢，車匙就係放喺台上邊好當眼嘅位置。點解佢哋冇偷走任何一架車呢？呢個案件發生喺萬錦市一個幾靜，唔係經常發生兇案，而且治安都幾好嘅一個地區。當地嘅市民呢，一知道呢宗案件發生咗之後，大家都好驚，好驚自己呢成為下一個受害者，甚至有人仲會驚到呢打電話俾警方。警方呢亦都唔敢怠慢，試圖查出呢係咪有任何證據將潘家同非法活動呢聯繫起嚟。睇下係咪關於一啲毒品啊、賭債，定係鄰里之間有啲不和等等嘅可能性，導致呢一家人呢得罪咗一啲危險人物。警方仲喺佢哋屋企附近呢揾目擊者同埋相關嘅線索，但係佢哋始終呢都一無所獲。直到有一個匿名嘅人向警方透露，有一個人呢同佢哋屋企人呢係有來往嘅。 嗰一個同潘家有來往嘅人個名呢，就叫做黃志光 Daniel Wong， 佢係一個販毒而且有案底嘅人，亦都係 Jennifer 嘅前男朋友。喺呢一刻嘅警方開始懷疑 Daniel 涉案，更加覺得好疑惑，點解 Jennifer 喺問話入邊冇提起 Daniel 嘅呢？當警方查出 Daniel 嘅記錄，而且發現佢有同毒品有關嘅案底，警方就將佢嘅前男朋友 Daniel 帶到警局入邊問話，而且仲發現咗一個更加大嘅秘密。Daniel 話自己案發當日2010年11月8號夜晚9點至到10點半就返到屋企啦，然之後就喺屋企瞓覺。佢知道自己呢，雖然因為曾經走私毒品而惹上咗一啲麻煩，但係已經洗心革面啦。佢同警探透露呢，喺高中11年級嘅時候，佢識咗 Jennifer。當時嘅佢呢，喺學校嗰度吹小號，而 Jennifer 就吹長笛。喺2003年17歲準備升12年級嘅 Jennifer 參加咗一次學校樂團嘅歐洲遊學旅行，佢要喺當地嘅活動場地嗰度表演，但係當其時呢，有好多人食煙啊。Jennifer 就喺一個充滿有食煙嘅人嘅禮堂表完演之後呢，發生咗嚴重嘅哮喘發作。Daniel 照顧咗 Jennifer， 安撫咗佢，而且指導佢點樣去呼吸。之後呢，兩個人就成為咗好朋友，最終佢哋兩個人就開始拍拖啦。而佢哋嘅嗰段關係持續咗大概6年時間，喺2年前左右分手。而分手嘅原因就係 Jennifer 嘅父母非常之嚴，逼到 Jennifer 係冇時間拍拖，亦都因為佢喺 Boston Pizza 做嘢收入唔係好多。佢嘅父母唔認同佢，同 Jennifer 拍咗拖6年時間嘅 Daniel 從來都冇機會同 Jennifer 嘅父母坐低落嚟食飯之類。雖然 Jennifer 嘅父母係反對佢哋，但係 Jennifer 依然都堅持同 Daniel 拍拖。但係 Daniel 認為呢 Jennifer 嘅父母唔同意佢哋喺埋一齊，佢都無能為力，所以最終呢，佢哋都係分咗手。Daniel 話而家呢，佢已經有新嘅女朋友 Christine，Jennifer 仍然都係會打電話俾 Daniel， 偶爾佢亦都會打電話俾 Jennifer 問候下佢，因為佢哋兩個人喺案發之前幾個月呢，都受到唔知啲咩人打電話嚟騷擾佢哋。Daniel 話呢，最初情況唔係好嚴重嘅啫，就係打電話嚟嘅人呢，冇講嘢，10秒之後收線嘅嗰一種。騷擾電話呢係不斷發生，後嚟呢就越嚟越誇張啦。一日呢可以係有上百次電話打電話嚟騷擾佢，而且仲從騷擾電話呢變成 send 短信過嚟，話佢喺度望緊佢。騷擾情況呢，直到去警局問話嘅3兩日前呢就消失咗啦。Daniel 認為 Jennifer 件案件係有95%至到99% 同佢嘅毒品係冇關係，因為佢涉及嘅毒品呢，只不過係1公克嘅大麻，根本係冇人會因為1公克大麻而開槍。而成個問話過程嘅重點係 Daniel 向警方話 Jennifer 的確係想佢嘅父母死。喺呢個時候嘅警方呢，淨係得一段馬路對面鄰居 CCTV 影片證據，佢哋影到呢3個人喺前門好順利咁打開咗大門，入到去 Jennifer 屋企入邊。30分鐘之後，呢3個人就離開咗佢屋企啦。值得留意嘅係 CCTV 係影到3個人入屋之前，有人喺樓上呢開燈熄燈，好似做緊一啲暗號咁樣。然之後3個人呢就好順利咁入咗 Jennifer 屋企。警方同 Daniel 問完話之後呢，亦都衍生咗更加多嘅疑問啦。喺案發嘅第4日，2010年11月12號。警探再揾 Jennifer 去警局嗰度進行第2次嘅問話。對於新冇事嘅證人嚟講呢，第2次嘅問話係一個好好嘅機會嚟㗎，因為當時間長咗呢，個人冇咁驚之後呢，可能係會記到更加多嘅細節嘅。呢個亦都係警方檢查口供係咪有改變嘅好方法。喺呢個時候呢，雖然 Jennifer 的而且確係出現咗一啲可疑嘅信號，但係警方仍然都未確定佢係咪涉案。喺第2次問話一開始嘅時候 ，Jennifer 隻左手同右手握埋一齊，然之後係咁捽，係咁捽。佢話自己好緊張，好驚講錯嘢。
Okay, I'm very nervous, and I.
Why are you nervous? Tell me about why you're nervous.
Because I don't want to say the wrong things.
Oh, so
because that day was a lot.
You're right.
And I've been scattered, and so bits and pieces are here and some pieces aren't here, and I'm just...
當警探 Randy 問 Jennifer 同 Daniel 嘅關係， Jennifer 承認咗佢同 Daniel 曾經拍拖大概6年嘅時間，但係佢形容佢支撐得好辛苦，因為父母呢係唔准佢有男朋友，而媽媽呢就比較寬鬆，希望佢呢係可以揾到一個對佢忠誠嘅人。但係由於佢嘅爸爸係禁止佢有任何嘅男朋友， Jennifer 只可以呢偷偷隱瞞佢哋拍拖嘅事實。Jennifer 話佢哋兩個人呢升上去12年級嘅時候喺同一間學校度讀書嘅，但係 Daniel 喺學校嘅成績開始落後。Daniel 後嚟呢就轉咗過去另外一間學校 Cardinal Carter Academy 嗰度讀書，佢仍然都會去 Jennifer 間學校嗰度見佢，而 Jennifer 亦都會走堂去揾 Daniel。Jennifer 呢原本呢係一個科 A 嘅學生嚟嘅，直到9年級嘅時候呢，佢嘅成績開始唔好，為咗令到佢爸爸媽媽開心呢，佢就開始用舊嘅成績表同埋影印機嚟偽造成績表，將所有嘅成績呢改為全部 A， 然之後拎俾佢爸爸媽媽睇。雖然 Jennifer 呢當其時嘅成績唔係科 A， 但係 Ryerson University 仍然肯收佢㗎。但係後嚟呢 Jennifer 因為成績唔合格，唔符合畢業嘅要求， Ryerson 大學呢就取消咗收佢嘅通知啦。Jennifer 為咗唔俾佢爸爸媽媽知道呢，佢成績差搞到畢唔到業，所以佢選擇咗隱瞞事實，偽造咗成績表，話俾佢爸爸媽媽聽呢，佢秋天就去 Ryerson University 嗰度讀書。佢嘅父母知道佢升上大學呢，佢哋好開心㗎。爸爸呢仲希望 Jennifer 可以成為一個醫生，但係 Jennifer 呢其實最想讀嘅係運動學。佢嘅爸爸就覺得運動學呢唔夠好，認為 Jennifer 係應該從事一份更加受人尊敬嘅職業。佢嘅爸爸知道 Jennifer 呢冇勇氣成為醫生㗎，所以佢爸爸就讓步，想佢成為一個藥劑師。之後嘅 Jennifer 就同父母講話，佢會讀2年嘅科學理學學士。之後呢就會轉到去 University of Toronto 讀藥理學課程。佢話俾爸爸媽媽聽，已經貸咗款，而且仲贏咗一筆3000蚊美金嘅獎學金嚟俾學費。佢甚至仲買咗一啲二手嘅書同埋其他嘅物品嚟維持佢呢一個嘅大話。從2004年開始，每一日朝頭早，當佢嘅爸爸以為 Jennifer 係返學嘅時候，實際上 Jennifer 就會搭公共交通工具去多倫多市中心，去圖書館、網絡上邊揾一啲科學嘅主題，而且做一啲筆記呢拎返屋企俾爸爸媽媽睇。佢當然亦都盡可能花多啲時間同 Daniel 喺埋一齊，揾咗一份同 Daniel 一齊做嘢嘅工作做。Jennifer 亦都私底下呢會教下鋼琴㗎，而且喺Royal Conservatory of Music 修讀咗一啲鋼琴嘅課程，目標呢就係考到 ARCT 文憑。呢個文憑呢係非常之高級，接近專業級別嘅文憑嚟㗎，要考到呢真係唔係一件容易嘅事。最後 Jennifer 呢都係完成唔到，然之後經過2年講大話，聲稱自己喺大學讀書之後呢，佢嘅爸爸原本係期望 Jennifer 真係會轉到過去多倫多大學嗰度讀書，不過 Jennifer 始終都係冇坦誠自己佢哋嘅行為，反而話俾爸爸聽呢，佢俾學校嘅藥理學課程錄取咗。唔單止係咁，佢仲加碼講大話，建議話呢每星期有3日住喺朋友嘅屋企入邊，咁樣呢就會比較方便。而 Jennifer 嘅父母呢又真係覺得呢一個係一個好好嘅主意，減少咗坐交通工具嘅時間呢，就會有更加多時間讀書。不過個事實係呢 Jennifer 嗰啲時間呢係去咗 Daniel 屋企，而且半寄生喺佢哋屋企嗰度。Daniel 呢仍然係同佢嘅爸爸媽媽住埋一齊嘅。Jennifer 話俾 Daniel 嘅父母知呢，佢自己嘅爸爸媽媽已經同意俾佢住喺嗰度啦。Daniel 嘅父母不斷咁建議話要見下 Jennifer 嘅爸爸媽媽，但係 Jennifer 一直就用唔同嘅借口推辭，一個大話要圓另外一個嘅大話，嗰一個呢係一個永無止境嘅深淵啊！然後 Jennifer 呢話俾爸爸媽媽聽，佢開始喺 SickKids 醫院嘅一個血液檢測實驗室嗰度做義工。佢話俾佢哋聽呢，佢會返夜更㗎，仲同爸爸媽媽建議呢，佢可以多啲住喺朋友 Topaz 屋企。呢件事引起咗爸爸嘅懷疑，佢堅持呢，第2日就親自送佢返工。當 Jennifer 入咗醫院嘅時候，佢留意到媽媽喺佢後邊跟住佢，於是呢，佢就入咗醫院入邊匿埋，直到佢爸爸媽媽離開咗。 喺呢一刻，佢嘅父母已經覺得 Jennifer 好可疑，所以喺第二日朝頭早 ，Jennifer 嘅父母呢打電話去 Topaz 屋企，而且要求同 Jennifer 講電話。Jennifer 朋友 Topaz 唔記得咗當日呢係星期幾。Topaz 就話俾 Jennifer 嘅爸爸媽媽聽呢，佢個女唔喺佢屋企。當 Jennifer 返到屋企嘅時候，佢呢一個從2004年冇辦法高中畢業開始，到2010年維持咗接近6年嘅大話，終於都冇辦法再繼續啦。當年2010年已經22歲嘅 Jennifer 選擇同爸爸媽媽坦白啦。佢話俾爸爸媽媽聽呢，佢係冇喺 SickKids 嗰度做義工，亦都冇喺多倫多大學修讀藥理學課程。事實上，佢話佢一直都係同 Daniel 同居。佢嘅爸爸媽媽聽到呢一個真相呢，簡直就係晴天霹靂，反應非常之唔好。媽媽最初係唔支持噶，之後媽媽就同 Jennifer 講咗性教育。Jennifer 呢就認為嗰一個其實係一個瞬間可以摧毀咗佢整個人生嘅話題。當佢爸爸發現咗呢個真相之後呢，爸爸就責怪 Jennifer 講大話，甚至對佢嘅男朋友嘅種族一半係菲律賓人，一半係華人呢係好有意見，話佢呢根本就係唔適合 Jennifer， 認為 Daniel 人生冇前途，亦都冇辦法養起屋企，反對佢哋喺埋一齊。所以佢嘅爸爸就沒收咗 Jennifer 嘅手提電話，除非爸爸媽媽在場， Jennifer 係唔可以上網。父母亦都設定咗宵禁嘅時間，要求當年已經係22歲成年人嘅 Jennifer 一定要喺9點之前返到屋企。爸爸媽媽仲要 Jennifer 辭職教鋼琴以外嘅所有工作，確保 Jennifer 唔會再同呢一個男朋友聯絡。過咗幾個星期之後呢， Jennifer 終於都可以出去教鋼琴，但係仍然父母呢都係夾實佢㗎。就算係咁 ，Jennifer 仍然都係盡力咁呢去見 Daniel， 而且偷偷咁同 Daniel 講電話。大約喺案發1年半前， Jennifer 喺夜晚偷偷出門口去見 Daniel， 而俾屋企人捉到。佢唔記得咗自己拎咗媽媽嘅銀包。當佢媽媽朝頭早呢入咗佢間房嗰度揾銀包嘅時候，就發現 Jennifer 唔見咗。Jennifer 就被命令立即要返屋企啦。父母俾咗 Jennifer 一個最後通牒，逼 Jennifer 喺 Daniel 同埋佢哋之間作出選擇。Jennifer 選擇咗屋企人。雖然 Daniel 呢已經向前走啦，但係 Jennifer 仍然覺得佢哋兩個人之間呢經歷咗好多，對方呢喺大家需要彼此嘅時候都會陪伴住大家，所以 Jennifer 仍然都想同 Daniel 做朋友，繼續同佢聯絡。Jennifer 強調咗好多次，話俾警探聽，佢選擇嘅係屋企人，因為屋企人呢係更加重要。佢仲話呢，佢嘅爸爸曾經話俾佢聽，如果佢選擇咗 Daniel， 佢就會請私人偵探跟蹤佢。Jennifer 必須要終止同 Daniel 嘅關係，如果唔係 Jennifer 就只能夠等到佢死咗為止。所以 Jennifer 呢當其時都同警探講話，唔確定呢個算唔算係真正嘅選擇。當警探問到有關 Daniel 販毒嘅事呢， Jennifer 就承認佢知嘅，但係佢從來都冇問 Daniel 細節，佢係會扮唔知，原因係因為佢同 Daniel 分咗手。當 Jennifer 發現 Daniel 已經同另外一個女仔 Christine 拍拖嘅時候， Jennifer 就話咧 Daniel 對佢講咧 Christine 只不過係朋友，但係佢知道外邊嘅人呢都講 Christine 就係 Daniel 嘅女朋友。當時嘅 Jennifer 真係心碎啦，佢嘅情緒好低落，佢原本希望能夠捱得過父母嘅控制，直到佢哋終於能夠喺埋一齊。可能呢，佢覺得自己唔夠好啊，因為 Daniel 唔願意再等佢啦。Jennifer 只可以求助佢唯一知道嘅應對方式，講大話。大約喺案發1年前， Jennifer 話俾 Daniel 聽，佢自己一個人喺屋企嘅時候俾一個男人攻擊，而且強行侵犯咗佢。佢仲同 Daniel 講話係 Daniel 嘅新女朋友 Christine 策劃咗嗰一次嘅襲擊，話佢曾經收到 Christine 寄過嚟嘅一粒子彈。嗰陣時嘅 Daniel 呢就叫佢去報案，但係 Jennifer 佢冇辦法。因為嗰件事根本就冇發生過，佢話講大話呢係為咗引起前男朋友 Daniel 嘅注意，亦都係為咗令到佢嘅新女朋友難受。不過呢，佢就話俾警探聽，佢一直係收到威脅噶，亦都曾經收到一封信，話佢係一個行屍走肉嘅人，而嗰封信呢已經俾佢剪爛咗，掉咗入垃圾桶啦。佢覺得封信係因為新女朋友 Christine 出於妒忌，所以咁做。 雖然佢呢係唔想指控任何人，但係 Daniel 嘅新女朋友 Christine 曾經係用 Facebook 私人發信息俾佢，話佢蠢，叫佢唔好搞事，唔好再管住 Daniel。Jennifer 講呢啲說話呢係暗示緊 Christine 喺呢宗案件入邊有可疑。雖然 Jennifer 係咁講啦，但係警探發現佢係一個慣常講大話嘅人之後呢，單憑呢一點就令到佢哋起咗更加大嘅疑心啦。第二次口供入邊呢，對案件發生嘅講法大部分都係一樣嘅，不過有啲微細嘅地方唔同咗。
When you say you're on the floor, how are you on the floor? How are you, what's your position? Are you lying on the floor? Are you sitting on the floor?
I'm sitting on the floor, cross-legged, with number 1 behind me.
Okay.
喺 Jennifer 第一次落口供嘅時候呢，佢話佢係俾人帶咗落樓，而且嗰啲人叫佢跪低，塊面望向地下。但係呢一次 Jennifer 嘅講法呢就改變咗啦，佢話佢係盤住腳坐，面向地下。喺第一次落口供嘅時候呢，佢仲話自己係喺自己間房俾人綁住雙手，然之後直接俾人帶咗過去佢爸爸媽媽間房嗰度。而第二次呢，佢就話係直接俾人帶咗落樓。嗰啲嘅男人呢，開始就問爸爸佢嘅銀包喺邊度，啲男人用槍指住佢嘅爸爸，問銀包入邊有冇錢。爸爸當其時呢，就答有60蚊美金喺銀包入邊，而入侵者不斷都喺度大嗌話啲錢收喺屋企嘅邊一度，叫爸爸呢最好唔好呃佢。Jennifer 形容有一個人呢係匿埋咗喺廚房嘅牆後邊，從佢嘅位置一開始睇唔到嗰個人嘅，嗰個人就開始問佢嘅媽媽佢嘅銀包喺邊度，話媽媽呢似乎好難同佢溝通。Jennifer 話當時自己想企起身幫手嘅時候，佢俾人推跌咗喺地下上邊。Jennifer 認為佢嘅爸爸媽媽冇俾3個男人綁起嚟。呢一樣嘢呢係令到警探覺得最困惑嘅一個部分啦吓。呢3個男人隨機入咗一間屋打劫，佢哋開槍射咗2個人，但係佢哋就將 Jennifer 綁起嚟，而且帶住佢喺屋入邊行嚟行去，俾佢同3個入侵者呢有最多嘅互動。咁 Jennifer 應該係最能夠認到佢哋個樣嘅人，但係呢3個人居然冇殺到 Jennifer。呢一點呢，警方係點諗都諗唔通。而且當地嘅警方亦都講話呢，成個搶劫嘅手法同呢個地區典型嘅搶劫案係唔同㗎。大多數啲賊仔呢都會喺日光日白入屋偷竊，而嗰啲人呢最有可能會等屋主出咗去做嘢，又或者小朋友返晒學，間屋冇晒人呢，佢哋先會去偷嘢。就算係嗰啲賊人呢入到有人嘅屋企入邊呢，佢哋亦都會拎走能夠拎嘅值錢嘢，然之後走，係唔會殺人嘅，因為打劫呢只能夠會令到佢哋坐監唔夠1年，而謀殺呢就會可能令到佢哋終身監禁。爸爸話俾入侵者知，佢嘅銀包喺樓上。1號入侵者就帶 Jennifer 上樓，去到佢爸爸媽媽間房。喺呢一次嘅問話入邊 ，Jennifer 第一次入佢爸爸媽媽間房，而2個嘅入侵者呢，將主人房抄到亂七八糟，但係就揾唔到爸爸嘅銀包。入侵者呢，就兩手揈揈離開咗佢爸爸媽媽間房啦。
Did you see them recover anything inside your mom and dad's room?
I did not see anything, no.
Are you sure? Because when we spoke the last time, there was some mention of some other money that went missing.
I believe when they were looking for my father's wallet, they had opened the drawer, and it was in an envelope.
What drawer would that have been in?
If you're at the doorway where I was standing on the left side, the bedside table.
Whose side of the bed is it?
That's my mother's side of the bed.
Okay. And approximately how much money?
I'm not sure how much she took out for our trip, but I can only estimate about a few $100s.
Few hundred, because at the time, the last time you told me, you were pretty adamant about $1,100. So I'm curious to know how you came up with that number.
I believe because when we were at the border, we stopped at the duty free. My mother was deciding whether to use her U.S. currency or her U.S. currency or her Canadian currency.
So it was at that time you remember hearing $1,100? And that's what, is that the inference you're saying? Is that, because you're pretty solid saying that it was $1,100 that went missing, that was taken. And that you saw it when we spoke. And who took it? Who took possession of the money?
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
睇嚟 Jennifer 唔記得咗自己喺第一次落口供嘅時候，佢講過關於啲入侵者揾到道家用錢嘅嗰一啲細節，唔記得咗自己當其時係點樣講。呢個亦都係解釋咗點解佢喺第二次問話一開始嘅時候，佢會咁緊張。佢講嘅故事入邊唔一致嘅地方又點止咁少呢？
You ever inside the room? Did they ever take you inside the room? Did you ever make it past the threshold of that door?
Jennifer 用雙手托住兩個腮，冇講嘢好耐，咁即係話佢唔記得啦。但係其實喺佢第一次落口供嘅時候，佢講嘅係1號將佢攔咗喺主人房嘅附近。當佢留意到呢有個櫃桶仲未俾人搜查嘅時候，嗰個人拉咗佢過去，然之後打開咗個櫃桶拎走咗入邊嘅現金，而且仲好確定呢嗰一啲係1100蚊美金現金。當入侵者離開咗爸爸媽媽間房之後，1號就叫2號 Kusi 去拎繩。喺呢個時候，之前 Jennifer 就話1號拎走咗佢嘅眼鏡，而且掉走咗。接住落嚟 ，Jennifer 嘅右上臂就俾佢哋綁咗喺樓上嘅欄杆上邊。
At this point, he throws my glasses, and he walks down the stairs.
So he's still up there with you. When do you and at this? So you've had your glasses on the whole time. When does he take them off?
Right before he leaves.
Right after. So you're tied to the banister. You're just before he leaves to go down the stairs. Your glasses are off. You have had your glasses on the whole time prior to that.
但係喺第一次落口供嘅時候呢 Jennifer 話呢一件事呢係發生喺佢爸爸媽媽間房入邊，亦即係喺1樓嘅時候。
No, they had like something blind me. Like they, number one, when we first got in the room, the light was on. And he's like, hold on. And he grabbed, I don't remember what he grabbed, a jacket or sleeve or something. And he kind of like shielded me with it. And that's when he took my glasses and he like tossed them.
So he took your glasses off? Okay. How did you get your glasses back?
I asked the officer.
Okay.
警探 Randy 其實係非常之清楚記得 Jennifer 最初落口供嘅時候講過啲乜嘢㗎，所以佢好刻意咁想確認 Jennifer 一直都係有戴住眼鏡，直到佢綁住喺欄杆上邊為止。然後警探 Randy 就要求 Jennifer 清楚咁示範佢究竟係點樣喺反手被綁住嘅情況底下，成功打電話俾911嘅。
You're now bound to the railing. Can you show me, can you stand up and turn around and tell me, just show on the camera, how your hands are bound and how you are against the railing? You don't have to sit down. I just need to see how you were.
然之後 Jennifer 停止咗唔喐喺度思考，佢起碼呢係諗咗8秒㗎。
Just tell you.
The only reason that I'm trying to, I need to do this is that I'm also going to ask you is that so take this back take it out of a traumatizing event, which it is, and put yourself into a more clinical position, because I want to see how you could physically get your phone out of your waistband. We're obviously going to need to know that. It's very important. So traumatize away. Now put yourself into just a state of, I need to mechanically show how I can get access to my phone. Okay, because that's obviously very relevant. We know you made the phone call, but questions are going to obviously raise is that if my hands are bound and I'm against the railing, how do I talk to a 911 operator? Okay, so clinically, this is now a clinical demonstration. Just stand up, focus in on how you did it. And I want you to stick that in your waistband as an example. Okay, so just take your sweater off, because this will be a very smooth, very quick thing. It's a one-time demonstration. I'm not going to ask you to repeat it, but I need to go through it. Okay, so just take your sweater off. Stand up and turn around. Put this in the side that you believe it was in. Great. Turn around so that you're looking away from me. You're looking exactly like, now here is where the banister is. Put your hands back behind your back, exactly how you remember they were. Okay? Now, and are you restrained from movement? How far can you move your hands from the banister?
They tied my upper arm.
Yes.
Around the banister.
Yes.
But my hands were bound together.
So your hands bound together, and this is the arm that's the strings wrapped around against the banister? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now how can you get to the phone? And how do you make the phone call? 911? Mm-hmm. And do you talk down like that?
Yes, I'm yelling at the phone like this.
And how can you hear?
I turned the volume on max.
Yes? So that's exactly the way that you're talking to her against the railing. Okay, that's good enough. Sit down.
警探叫 Jennifer 企起身示範下呢係非常之合理㗎，但係模擬被綁住嘅時候，其實比真係綁住嘅時候係容易好多㗎。當佢轉身將部電話擺喺右邊後腰嘅時候，佢嘅右邊手臂活動範圍比如果真係綁喺欄杆上面嘅時候呢，能夠喐到嘅活動範圍係大好多㗎。之後警探 Randy 離開咗呢一間問話房，喺佢行開咗嘅時候 ，Jennifer 同另外一個警探講嘢 ，Jennifer 同佢講話，佢好擔心會講錯嘢。
It's just like pieces here and pieces there, and I don't want to say something wrong or like just because I think I'm overthinking everything, and it's just like I want to get it right, so like everything could be right. But it's just like it's pieces.
呢一位警探呢，其實一早已經喺隔離間房嗰度透過熒光幕睇晒成個問話嘅過程。呢一位警探呢，就認為 Jennifer 好緊張，好驚俾人捉到講大話，而且覺得好大壓力，仲試圖淡化佢所有矛盾嘅地方。
What you're saying in here is within the confines of this police station and our investigation, so it's not, that's not something that we would release out to the public. Okay?
呢位警探講嘅嘢梗係唔係真嘅啦，佢只不過係想 Jennifer 放低個疑心，希望可以套到更加多嘅線索啫。當警探 Randy 返嚟問話室之後， Jennifer 被問到呢係咪參與咗販毒，佢堅決否認㗎吓，但係呢，佢就講到自己係有備用嘅 SIM 卡呢一件事，而呢件事呢，喺佢第一次落口供嘅時候從來都冇講起過㗎。Jennifer 話自己有一部 BlackBerry 嘅手提電話之外，仲有一部 iPhone， 嗰個電話係 Daniel 俾佢㗎。Jennifer 話嗰一部嘅 iPhone 電話係壞㗎，後嚟俾佢嘅細佬整翻好咗，咁樣細佬呢就可以擁有一部可以用嘅電話。嗰部嘅 iPhone 呢係上唔到網，只能夠打電話，所以佢就將電話呢收埋喺自己間房入邊。Jennifer 冇將電話卡呢放喺 iPhone 入邊，防止爸爸媽媽抄到問起嘅時候，佢可以話個電話壞咗。當呢一次問話就嚟結束嘅時候 ，Jennifer 好明顯好緊張。
You're upstairs and they're downstairs, right? So it's a natural concern when why would they leave you alone? Why would they not do the same to you? You can't answer that question?
The only thing I can say is he said I cooperated. But I asked him to take me.
The number one guy said you cooperated. Okay. You had no threats. And again, we're back to the fact that you admittedly lied. Okay, not to me, right? No. Not to me.
No.
You admittedly lied. You've lied to your parents, right? About going to school. You've lied to Daniel about being raped and about receiving a bullet. Who's to say this whole thing isn't a lie? That what you're telling me is a lie? Because if you are lying, it's the most cold-blooded thing that I've ever faced in my life.
警探 Randy 一直話俾 Jennifer 聽，如果你一直講真話呢，你係冇乜嘢需要驚㗎。佢咁樣講令到 Jennifer 更加驚啦。喺呢一刻嘅警方更加確定 Jennifer 同呢一宗嘅命案係有關，所以安排咗警察去到醫院嗰度駐守，禁止 Jennifer 單獨見爸爸，同佢共處一室。案發嘅第5日 ，Jennifer 嘅爸爸終於都醒啦。爸爸醒返之後呢，最初佢講唔到嘢，因為佢有一個輔助呼吸嘅裝置喺度，所以警方呢只可以默默等待。Jennifer 唔俾單獨同爸爸相處，亦都冇慶祝爸爸康復，更加冇因為媽媽死咗去哀悼佢，而係返到醫院嘅危機輔導員嗰度，同佢傾呢一切對佢嘅影響。佢最擔心嘅呢，唔係點樣幫爸爸差啲死嘅傷勢入邊恢復返，而係佢喺媒體入邊嘅形象。當警探終於可以同爸爸講嘢嘅時候，爸爸就話俾警探知案發當日11月8號嗰件事嘅來龍去脈。佢話入屋嘅呢係有3個男人、2個黑人同埋1個白人，入佢哋屋企呢係要錢財。爸爸就描述佢哋都好高，身高呢係超過6尺，全部人着住深色嘅衫，同佢個女 Jennifer 嘅講法呢係完全唔一樣。Jennifer 係聲稱3個人都係黑人嚟㗎，佢話其中1個比佢矮少少，仲話至少有1個人呢係着住 hoodies 衫。呢一啲嘅細節呢唔會係因為天黑又或者係混亂而出現嘅錯誤嚟㗎，因為如果你係身高5尺7寸嘅話，你係唔會覺得一個超過6尺嘅人會比你矮。然後爸爸就話俾警探聽，佢哋喺俾人用槍指住打劫嘅時候呢，佢個女 Jennifer並冇俾人綁起嚟。佢話 Jennifer 係可以自由咁行嚟行去，甚至 Jennifer 以友好輕鬆嘅方式同其中1個男人傾偈。最後爸爸叫警探運用辦案技巧查出個女 Jennifer 嘅所作所為。爸爸話俾屋企人知佢唔想見佢個女 Jennifer， 但係 Jennifer 仍然都係想辦法呢，想入去爸爸嘅病房嗰度探佢。而警方喺呢個時候呢，已經拎到法庭嘅搜查令，沒收咗 Jennifer 嘅手提電話嚟查證。喺案發之後嘅第14日，2010年11月22號 ，Jennifer 俾警察帶返去警察局嗰度接受第3次嘅問話。呢一次嘅問話由警探 Bill Gates 負責。我知大家諗緊邊一位嘅，唔係嗰一個。呢一次第3次問話 ，Jennifer 呢好明確咁俾警方當做嫌疑人咁對待。Jennifer 呢傾咗一啲佢嘅過去，佢話以前呢曾經有抑鬱症，而家嘅佢好後悔冇真正去讀大學。佢覺得自己嘅鋼琴技巧呢進步得唔夠快，而佢嘅朋友呢都向前走緊啦。佢唔明白點解自己喺20幾歲嘅時候仲有夜晚9點嘅宵禁。佢仲講話自己曾經呢係食過一啲止痛藥嚟輕生，甚至開始自殘。佢認為佢嘅父母留意到佢係有傷痕嘅，但係佢哋從來都冇問同埋關心過佢。當又講返11月8號呢件事嘅時候，佢就話俾警探聽，佢係儲咗超過1000蚊美金，而佢喺第一次落口供嘅時候呢，就話自己係有2000到2500蚊美金噶，第2次嘅時候就話自己有2000蚊美金，而家就話超過1000蚊美金。最後呢，警探阿彪呢唔再同佢遊花園啦，直接就話俾 Jennifer 聽，佢係一個誠實驗證嘅專家，唔係一個兇殺案嘅警探，所以佢可以判斷邊一個呢講咗真話，邊個講咗大話。話負責 Jennifer 案件嘅警探呢，亦都會試圖揾出邊個應該對入室搶劫殺人呢件案件負責。警探彪仲話佢個人嘅經驗同埋電腦嘅分析幫助底下呢，冇人能夠逃出佢嘅掌心。真真正正令到 Jennifer 開始透露更加多真相嘅係佢爸爸嘅證供呢同佢嘅矛盾點。爸爸嘅口供呢係描述咗成件事真實嘅經過，而警探喺呢一刻呢已經知道爸爸講嘅先係真話。Jennifer 知道爸爸嘅口供對佢係非常之不利嘅，所以佢必須要製造一個新嘅故事嚟解釋成件事。佢話俾警探標誌自己係想輕生，但係冇辦法自己喐手，所以佢就請咗一個叫做 Lanford Crawford 嘅男人嚟佢屋企殺佢。如果係咁樣呢，反而係更加多問題。點解殺手唔喺 Jennifer 自己喺屋企嘅時候先行動呢？點解唔係要 Jennifer 喺屋外邊先再開槍呢？ Jennifer 就聲稱殺手淨係話俾佢聽事情發生嘅時候先會通知佢，但係就冇俾具體時間佢。殺手話佢得閒嘅時候呢就會做噶啦，佢會揾時間去殺佢，要 Jennifer 準備好$2000現金俾佢。
You let them in. We know that. You went downstairs and you opened that door for them. We know that. Jen, you did leave the door open for them, didn't you? Pardon?
Yes.
Yes. And that's why you went downstairs earlier in the night, right? After your mom got home, what did you do?
Went down and said hello. Pretended to check the door.
And was it locked?
No.
You made sure it was unlocked.
Jennifer 落樓同媽媽打招呼，而且確認道門呢係未上鎖嘅。Jennifer 好多次前後矛盾嘅大話呢呃唔到警方，因為其實警方喺呢一刻呢已經從 Jennifer 嘅手提電話入邊掌握咗重要嘅證據。喺案發當日11月8號，入侵者去到佢哋屋企嘅前幾個鐘頭， Jennifer 對佢嘅前男朋友 Daniel 發出嘅短信，佢話佢需要時間，請佢考慮下。實行嘅時間係11月8號。Jennifer 收到一個叫做 Homeboy 嘅人，佢發出嚟嘅一條短信寫住 Game Time。大約喺夜晚9點15分，入侵者就發信息俾佢 VIP Access， 然後冇幾耐呢3個男人就入咗佢哋屋企啦。11月2號嘅一條短信入邊 ，Jennifer 問 Daniel 佢愛唔愛佢，想唔想同佢喺埋一齊。Daniel 就覆佢話佢而家心情好低落。Jennifer 就向 Daniel 講話對唔住，但係請求 Daniel 呢可以答佢嘅問題。Daniel 就話唔知道應該點樣講。佢話佢同 Jennifer 有同一樣嘅感覺，但係對 Christine。Jennifer 就話所以佢對 Christine 嘅感覺就好似佢自己對佢一樣，咁就叫 Homeboy 取消啦。Daniel 呢突然之間就有啲嬲咁話叫 Homeboy 取消，仲話 Jennifer 呢曾經話唔理有冇佢呢 Jennifer 都係想咁樣做㗎。Daniel 仲話呢自己喺 Jennifer 身邊呢成日都要小心翼翼，而佢已經為 Jennifer 安排好一切啦。叫 Jennifer 聯絡 Homeboy。喺呢一啲嘅短信入邊呢，可以好清晰咁見到 Daniel 係幫 Jennifer 嘅人，佢都係案件入邊嘅共犯，而且喺種種證據亦都顯示 Jennifer 唔係喺度策劃要嗰一啲殺手殺佢自己，佢嘅計劃係要殺死佢嘅父母。佢父母死咗呢，就可以令到佢同 Daniel 能夠自由自在喺埋一齊，唔再受管束。唔單止係咁啊，警方亦都發現 Jennifer 嘅謀殺計劃呢唔止一次。喺2010年嘅春天 ，Jennifer 嘅 A 計劃啟動。當時 Jennifer 聯絡咗一位小學嘅同學 Andrew Montemayor。Andrew 以前成日都喺度吹自己用刀打劫人哋。當佢聽到 Jennifer 同爸爸嘅問題之後呢，佢仲話自己曾經想殺死自己嘅爸爸。之後 Andrew 就介紹咗 Jennifer 認識佢嘅室友 Rick Duncan。Jennifer 呢就聲稱話佢俾咗 Ricardo $1500，要佢喺爸爸做嘢嘅停車場嗰度殺死佢。原本 Jennifer 同 Ricardo 呢約埋係要再見面，確定一個具體嘅實行日期。但係 Ricardo 開始唔聽佢電話 ，Jennifer 先意識到呢 Ricardo 呃咗佢嘅 A 計劃呢就係咁樣被迫取消。不過根據 Ricardo 嘅講法呢 Jennifer 喺7月初打電話俾佢，要求佢殺死佢嘅爸爸媽媽。佢覺得俾佢冒犯咗，拒絕咗 Jennifer。佢話自己唯一呢從佢嗰度拎過嘅錢就係200蚊啫，嗰一啲錢呢係佢問 Jennifer 借嘅，後嚟都還咗俾佢。去到2010年嘅夏天 ，Jennifer 第2次嘅謀殺 B 計劃啟動啦。嗰陣時 ，Daniel 同 Jennifer 恢復翻正常聯繫，兩個人策劃咗一個 B 計劃，打算請殺手殺死 Jennifer 嘅父母。Jennifer 心諗呢，如果佢嘅爸爸媽媽死咗，佢就可以同 Daniel 復合，同佢自由拍拖，佢亦都可以拎到50萬嘅保險金。Daniel 咁幫 Jennifer 係因為 Daniel 以為自己可以操控到 Jennifer， 可以喺佢嗰度拎啲錢嚟拓展佢嘅販毒事業。Daniel 俾 Jennifer 一部新電話卡嘅 iPhone， 就係俾佢專門用嚟策劃呢一場嘅謀殺。Daniel 仲俾 Jennifer 認識咗 Lanford 話俾 Jennifer 聽，殺手嘅費用通常都係收2萬蚊美金㗎，但因為佢係 Daniel 嘅一個朋友呢，佢願意以半價1萬蚊美金價錢呢嚟幫佢手。 幾百條嘅短信，再加埋鄰居嘅 CCTV 影到 Jennifer 喺樓上打暗號俾共犯，通知佢哋可以入屋。佢哋以為毫無破綻嘅謀殺計劃，最終都係俾人踢爆咗。Jennifer 喺第3次問話結束之後，俾警方逮捕咗，而且被控謀殺、謀殺未遂同埋共謀犯罪。同時，警方亦都派咗一組人去監視 Daniel， 逐一調查手提電話嘅內容，揾到執行攻擊嘅3個男人，分別係 David Mylifan、Eric Carty， 仲有綽號 Homeboy 嘅 Lanford。呢3個人同埋幫助安排成個假入屋搶劫計劃嘅共謀，即係 Jennifer 嘅前男朋友 Daniel 黃志光，全部都因為涉案而被捕，面臨相同嘅指控。5個被告全部都話自己係冇罪嘅。呢一宗嘅案件喺2014年3月19號 Ontario Newmarket 嘅法院開庭審訊。檢察官掌握咗大量對 Jennifer 不利嘅證據。Jennifer 依舊同3個嫌疑人唔肯認罪，其中一個嫌疑人 Eric Carty， 佢雖然係同其他兇手一齊受審，但係佢嘅律師喺審判期間因為病咗，導致 Eric 喺呢件案件被裁定審訊無效，需要另外開法庭去審理佢嘅案件。Jennifer 嘅朋友 Andrew 出庭作證嘅時候，佢嘅證詞反反复复，一方面係承認 Jennifer 曾經有殺佢父母嘅計劃，另外一方面又確認計劃只係針對佢嘅爸爸，而唔係佢嘅媽媽。然之後又講話自己唔肯定 Jennifer 當其時提到嘅係一個人定係2個人。Jennifer 嘅辯護律師 Paul Cooper 就話嗰一晚嘅事從來都唔應該發生㗎，強調 Jennifer 從未參加過傷害佢媽媽嘅計劃，亦都冇參與傷害佢爸爸嘅計劃。Jennifer 只係打算安排有人殺佢自己啫，唔係殺爸爸媽媽。亦都話佢自己後嚟係取消咗呢個計劃。辯護律師阿 Paul 仲話 Jennifer 喺講大話同人生選擇入邊犯咗錯，但係講大話本身唔係謀殺罪，所以係唔能夠只係單靠佢唔誠實而判佢有罪。Jennifer 喺證人席上邊用咗幾日嘅時間試圖扭轉證據，營造佢未指使殺咗自己爸爸媽媽嘅情況，但係最終都未能夠提出合理嘅解釋。而個真相就係 Jennifer 等媽媽跳完舞返屋企之後，佢就落樓講 good night， 然後佢就走到大門前邊打開咗個門鎖，俾一啲共犯順利入屋。Jennifer 返到樓上係繼續同共犯講短信。Jennifer 開燈熄燈打暗號，話俾共犯聽可以入屋。Jennifer 就返去睡房等一切嘅事情發生，然之後再打911報案扮受害人。最後喺2014年12月13號 Jennifer Pan 被陪審團裁定有罪，所有指控成立。喺2015年1月23號，法官對 Jennifer 判處2個無期徒刑，25年之後可以申請假釋，2個刑期同時執行。3個共謀 Daniel、David 同埋 Lanford 被判相同嘅刑期。喺法庭上邊 Jennifer 嘅爸爸就話佢希望佢個女 Jennifer 能夠喺呢場悲劇入邊反省，將來成為一個善良誠實嘅人。爸爸就請求法院對 Jennifer 發佈禁止聯繫令， Jennifer 被永久禁止同佢嘅爸爸同埋細佬 Finis 聯絡。喺2015年12月 Eric 因為承認共謀謀殺罪，被判18年嘅監禁，服刑9年之後就有資格申請假釋啦。喺2017年年底 Eric 因為 Kurt Matthews 嘅謀殺定罪提出上訴，但係遭到法院嘅駁回。只係幾個月之後，喺服刑嘅期間，38歲嘅 Eric 喺2018年4月26號被發現咗喺監獄入邊被人刺殺死咗。而 Jennifer 呢宗案件其實仲未完嘅。Jennifer 一直係堅持話自己係無辜嘅。喺2023年5月19號，安省上訴法院推翻咗 Jennifer 同另外3個共同被告嘅1級謀殺定罪。上訴法院裁定，原本嘅法官未有考慮可能構成2級謀殺嘅情景，所以批准佢哋重審。之後 Jennifer 同另外3個共同被告向加拿大最高法院提出申請。最高法院就喺2025年4月10號確認咗上訴法院嘅裁決，而且維持咗下令重審嘅決定。喺2025年7月 Netflix 出咗有關 Jennifer 嘅紀錄片。至於 Jennifer 幾時會再一次出庭呢？目前仲未知㗎。呢一次嘅重審呢，再加上 Netflix 嘅紀錄片呢，再一次引起咗外界對呢宗案件嘅關注。 根據爸爸嘅口供呢， Jennifer 媽媽死前最後講嘅說話係 Don't hurt my daughter。對於父母嚟講呢，佢哋一生人好辛苦咁由戰亂、貧窮又或者移民去到一個陌生嘅國度，語言不通，人生路不熟，由零開始，捱過一關又一關。佢哋所求嘅呢，其實係好簡單嘅，就係想下一代唔使好似自己咁辛苦，希望自己嘅仔女呢過得比佢哋好。但係作為子女嘅佢哋，又係咪真係明白自己今日有幾幸運呢？又有冇真正體會過爸爸媽媽背後嗰份沉默付出嘅苦心呢？但係如果父母口中入邊嘅為你好咧，慢慢變成淨係可以成功，唔准失敗，甚至好理所當然咁覺得將失敗同做錯事畫上等號，呢一份原本出於愛嘅期望咧，有時反而就會變成一種無形嘅枷鎖，令到自己嘅仔女咧連跌低、試下做錯嘢，甚至係做自己嘅空間都冇晒。就好似 Jennifer 呢個案件嘅家庭入邊呢，佢哋嘅愛係有條件嘅，成績、表現、前途同埋形象呢一啲嘢成為衡量一個小朋友係唔係值得被肯定嘅一個標準。唔准小朋友失敗，而坦白就變成咗一種做錯事係會被嚴厲責罰。對 Jennifer 嚟講呢，佢唔係冇得選擇㗎，佢可以一開始就坦白同父母講真話，佢可以離開呢個屋企，可以反抗，但係佢嘅恐懼呢，就取代咗佢嘅勇氣。選擇咗最極端，亦都係冇辦法翻轉頭嘅一條歪路。大咪認為呢，成績唔代表一切嘅，求學唔係求分數，唔應該俾分數定義咗自己。做人嘅好同壞呢，亦都唔係分數去衡量嘅。大家話係咪？大咪希望大家多多保重，多謝你睇到呢一度，歡迎大家留言話俾我聽你對呢一集嘅感覺。我係卡卡里大咪 signing out。大咪邀請大家留言，俾個讚好我哋。仲未訂閱我哋 channel 嘅你呢，歡迎你訂閱佢噶。呢一啲全部都係免費。大咪今集講到呢一度，我哋下一集再見。